Imagine sending a client an invoice for $27,000. Not for a year of consulting, not for a massive custom software project, but for a system you built in a few days without writing a single line of complex code. Most people think this is a fantasy. They think high-ticket sales require a team of developers and months of stress. But you are about to see a blueprint that changes the math entirely. The person doing this is Jack Roberts, and he isn't selling his time. He isn't charging by the hour. He is selling a machine, specifically an AI-powered onboarding machine that replaces the most expensive thing in any service business, the humans. But here's the part nobody expected. He isn't using a team of engineers to build it. He is using a stack of tools that are available to you right now for pennies. Let's look at the old way. We have all been there. You sign a new client. Then comes the chaos, the endless email chains, the manual data entry, the Zoom calls just to explain a form. It is a mess of scattered spreadsheets and Notion documents. It does not scale. If you get 10 clients at once, you drown. Your revenue hits a ceiling because you physically cannot talk to that many people. But the $27,000 system is different. It positions you as an AI system builder. The deliverable is a packaged asset. One price. One installation. It runs 24/7. It collapses the entire client experience into 3 clean touchpoints: a marketing site, a personalized dashboard, and an automated email engine. But the magic isn't on the surface. It is what happens underneath. Think of this system like the Infinity Gauntlet. You need 5 specific stones to make it work: a website, smart questions, a client dashboard, email automation, and an admin panel. Alone, they're just tools. But when you snap them together around a single database, you don't just get a website. You get a revenue printing machine. And the architect of this machine, it is not a human developer. Enter Claude. Jack Roberts uses Claude not to write copy, but as a senior software architect. He gives Claude a vague goal: build a dashboard with 8 interactive sections. Claude doesn't just spit out code. It writes a standard operating procedure. It defines the user journey. It outlines the database tables. It creates a blueprint so detailed, it reads like a spec sheet from a senior product manager. This is the critical shift. Most people try to prompt their way to a final product in one go. That fails. The secret is the handoff. Claude handles the reasoning. It breaks down the logic. Then you take that logic and hand it to Gemini. Gemini is the builder. You paste Claude's blueprint into Google AI Studio, attach a screenshot of a design you like, and say, build this. And here is why this changes who gets hired next. In the past, a custom dashboard meant hiring a React developer for 6 weeks, $5,000 minimum. With Gemini 3.0, you get a working front end in 5 minutes. You are not coding. You are having a conversation. Add a progress bar. Change the chart to a radar view. It iterates faster than any human coder ever could. But a pretty interface is useless without a brain. That is where Supabase comes in. If you know how to use a spreadsheet, you can use Supabase. It acts as the central nervous system. Every answer a client gives, every status change, every file upload, it all lives here. And because it has something called row-level security, you don't need to write complex permission code. The database itself decides who sees what. So now you have the architect, the builder, and the brain. But how do you make money? You need an engine. That is, go high level. This is the automation layer. When a client finishes their onboarding in the dashboard, Supabase flips a switch. That switch tells go high level to launch a sequence. Welcome emails, SMS nudges, upsell offers. It happens while you sleep. And here is the strategic twist that justifies the $27,000 price tag. It's the admin dashboard. The client sees their own progress, but you see everything. A God mode view of every account, every red flag, every opportunity. You aren't just giving them a tool. You are giving them a control room for their entire business operations. Think about the leverage here. You are not building a website. You are building a micro SaaS product for a single client. You are using Supabase to store the truth, Gemini to render the face, and Claude to design the logic. The client doesn't care about the stack. They care that their onboarding problem just vanished. This leads us to the real stakes. The era of the generalist freelancer is dying. If you are just building websites or writing emails, you are competing in a race to the bottom. But the system builder, the person who can wire these AI tools together to solve expensive business problems, that person has zero competition. So the question isn't, can you learn these tools? The documentation is free. The question is, are you ready to stop acting like an employee and start acting like an architect? The tools are the easy part. The vision to sell it for $27,000, that is up to you. If you want to see a step-by-step breakdown of the exact prompts Jack uses to get Claude to write these SOPs, let me know in the comments. I might just leak the prompt library in the next video. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the future of work. It's arriving faster than you think.